Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. This morning is a brutal cold morning. And you folks up there in Canada, it ain't brittle. It's probably a spring morning for you all, but this morning it was 1 degrees. The wind feels like it's 20 below out here. My gloves are off right now, but I'm not going to keep them off very long. Anyway, I came over to do the bulls this morning, the bulls and the steers. And they've been on this new farm. This is the one we bought here right before Christmas. And we got quite a bit of grazing out of it before the snow came. And they're still grazing through the snow. I saw some up there this morning grazing. But there isn't a lot of stockpile left under the snow because we strip grazed it. And they took quite a bit. And then they've been grazing in here. Well, we've had them in here going on close to a month now. I think we moved them in, well, 3 weeks, around 3 weeks. Today's the 13th month of January. It's almost half over, can you believe it? Anyway, here's the Greg Judy bale unroller. It's manufactured by Reject Ranch. They're Kendall and Amber do an awesome job here at Evalls, Missouri. Kendall took my design and brought it home and improved it dramatically. And I'm feeding hay with this truck this morning. I've got a four-wheeler. I'm like, why use a four-wheeler on when it's 1 degrees out here and I got a heated cab? So I've got a 2-inch ball there on my bumper. And that's my front end loader. That's actually the pallet forks off our John Deere. That weighs right at 1,000 pounds. So I got, a good weight on the back of my little 4-wheel drive truck. I just love Toyota trucks. You can't pull a stock trailer with them with cattle in it. You'll break the bumper off. But they're really good for unrolling 1,200 pound bales of hay because most of the weight is back here on the spindles of your, the axle spindles back here. Anyway, I came down here. The snow's, it's crusty. I'm getting good traction this morning. There's some pretty good hills here. And I'm going to walk up here and show you how far this bale's already went. I still got, 25% of it left on there. I did go up here and check my frost-free water tank a minute ago. I'm going to go up and show you how much ice was on it. Folks, it's below zero last night. Now, it's in a really good spot. Brian, the owner of this farm, before we bought it, he sold it to one of the developers in Columbia, but Brian was the one that had the cattle farm. He's the one that put this in. And he's got it down here behind this pond dam, which is blocking some of the wind, because that's north. Nice pond up here. I mean, nice pond. We've got a hydrant here that's protected. You don't want to be using that in this kind of weather. But here's the frost-free. So these are the pride of the farm. These are good for 50 head. This is a little bitty one. But there's an 1/8 of an inch of ice. Cattle had a bro. I didn't even need to bro. This one didn't hardly have any ice on it. Tell you what, I don't miss chopping ice off when it's 1 degree out. So are they worth it? They make bigger versions of these. The ones that I'm putting out on the new farm up by Moberly, Anthony's and Sean's, those are going to be 20 gallon. And they're going to be pressure fed. That's gravity fed. So a 20 gallon pressure fed, I think they're rated for like 125 to 140 head of cattle. So they don't drink as much in the wintertime. I can see why. It's cold out here. They're not as thirsty. They're not hot. There's our mineral feeder. They get to go through here and select exactly which mineral they're missing, and we feed sea salt. We don't feed normal salt, we feed Kansas gray. It's the best sea salt made. It's mined from the old ocean that was there in Kansas eons ago. Anyway, this little runway right here, Brian's got this all with rock. There's rock under me here. Clear out to, even crosses this little creek, clear up to about right here. You can see there's no mud. And we got some thawing yesterday, got up to 36 degrees. And then, boy, the bottom just dropped out of it. Before my fingers freeze off, I'm gonna walk up here and show you what we did, or what I fed this morning. There's right at 60 head in here. And these are all coming 2-year-old bulls and 2-year-old steers. And there's 4 3-year-old machos that will be turning 4 in May. And I just posted our South Pole bulls, our 2-year-olds. You can get them now. You can get a deposit down on them. At the rate they're selling, they're not going to last very long. People are jumping on them things. I don't blame them. They're awful good bulls. You can't go buy them anywhere else, especially at a sale barn. There's a bull way over there. They just follow it wherever I unroll. So I started up here on top of the hill. I cut the netting off. Way up there. And then these bulls, we can see where we fed one. They're getting a bale about every other day because I'm making them go after stockpile too. Making them work. Clean up the hay. And there's the little hay left here. This is that hay that fellow was talking about that's wasted. It's not wasted. Feed my soil microbes. Feeding the earthworms. So I came down here. I went around the point of this hill. I circled around over there by that tree. Went down the hill again. Clear down into that valley down there. Made a circle, came back up that far ridge over yonder. Turned around and went back down. And now I'm down there by the water tank. So I've literally went, well, if you track all that, probably close to a quarter mile. And I've got hay, I've got seed, I've got animal impact, manure and urine. And it's spread over a quarter mile. And I'm still not done. I mean, look at the manure and the urine and the seed that gets spread from one bale. I mean, I'm covering a lot of area. And so my old quote, if you're gonna feed hay, make it pay. I'm telling you what, you come here in the spring, well, I'm gonna show you. We'll be back in the spring grazing this, you're gonna see what it did. I mean, I'm not unrolling it where the big blue stem is. I've got about probably 50% big blue stem over there, and I don't want to go through that big blue and unroll fescue hay in there and put more pressure on the big blue. I like my stand the way it is, so I'm pretty much feeding this out where I have fescue. And yeah, so it's cold out here. The bulls are doing well. They've got good water. I'm keeping them out of the muck by moving their feeding resources around. I'm keeping the fertility. It's not in a barn. You know, these bedding packs might work in some areas, but man, in Missouri, I can't imagine keeping these beautiful animals in a barn all winter and feeding them on a bedding pack. It just doesn't jive. you're working your tail off. You got to pack all the feed to them. You got to pack it all out in the spring to get it back out onto your pasture. The animals are standing in poop and pee all winter. No. No, 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 no. Get them out here on the land. How much poop and crap do you see on these cows? There's none. There's none. And their hair is perfectly clean. And there's no manure on them at all. Look at that. That's why they stay warm. You pack that hair full of mud and manure and keeping them up in a barn lot. Oh, it's just awful. I got to get out here, but I'm going to share one story. I thought I'd switch the neighbor around, and this was last year. I came by his farm, and by golly, he had unrolled hay. I'm like, he got it, because he was a bale ring guy. He must have had 50 bale rings, big herd of cows. He was unrolling hay out on the pasture, and you could see it, and it was just starting to green up in March. And all these windrows, he must have fed, I don't know, 300 or 400 windrows out there across this pasture. Cows that ate probably 75, 80% of those windrows. I'm like, he got it. He finally got it. We came by 2 hours later, and he had his employees out there with drip torches. That's right, the same tool they used to do controlled burns. They burnt the windrows. He burnt the windrows of hay. He burned it. Every single windrow was charred black. I just thought that's the ultimate right there. You had all that beautiful fertilizer spread across your farm. You went out there and threw a match on it and burned it up. And then 2 weeks later, I come by and he's got ammonium nitrate buggy out there putting down ammonium nitrate, nitrogen, so he'll grow some more grass. It's like, that's almost like taking a gun and shooting and blowing your foot off. You know? Come on, he had it. No, I don't want to grow any grass. I'm going to burn it. So he burned his hay. Then he didn't have any fertilizer. Killed the soil under the windrows. And then he had to go buy an ammonium nitrate so he'd grow some grass to have for his cows. I just had to share that one with you. I mean, it's just, I was numbstruck. That's what I was. I was numbstruck. How somebody could be that uninformed. I'm not going to call them stupid. I'll call them uninformed, because that's what they were. They just uninformed. They didn't realize what they'd done. Probably thought they were doing good, cleaning the place up, getting rid of all that scrap windrows. The hay looked kind of funny out there, I guess, to him. And I'm going to get rid of that stuff. I'll just throw a match on it. So anyway, I guess at the end, folks, don't do that. I'm out of here. My fingers about froze off. Y'all have a good one. And be seeing some of y'all at the South Pole Field Day, First Missouri Annual South Pole Sale at West Plains, Missouri. That's on Friday, Saturday this week at West Plains. I'll be speaking down there. Maybe I'll see some of y'all, and there's a good chance you can go home with some really nice South Pole cattle. Y'all have a good one.